Welcome back. It is Monday, January 22nd in the NBA. My four best bets are on the way. Let's recap how we did yesterday. A very solid 2-1 day for us. Let's talk about it. Day two of the ladder challenge did cash. Technically, it was all the NFL, but as I always do, I like to recap it in these NBA videos because normally it is mostly NBA. And speaking of day three, it'll be all the NBA today. So I just don't want to confuse you guys. We always track it towards the NBA record. And as always, we play one unit on it plus an extra, whatever the $10 is. So today it will be $40. We cashed Michael Porter Jr.'s over in points. And then Jimmy Butler did not get it done at 15 points. What the Heat scored 87 points. If you told me Jimmy Butler made 3 threes and he went under, I'd be like, what the heck? Yeah, he did just that yesterday, but I don't know what the heck happened. A 2-1 day, did go 3-1 in the NFL, close to the sweep over there. We'll certainly take that. Let's move on to today. Like I said, day three will be posted later on today. After this video goes live, I'll be working on it. So stay tuned. It'll be linked down below in the pinned comment. And actually, one of our plays today, one of our 4 plays, the best odds by a long shot are on BetMGM. So speaking of BetMGM, they have a great offer, and you could heck use the play that we talked about later on in this video on this exact play. But if you bet $5, you get $158 in bonus bets on BetMGM. Like BetMGM, as I've talked about before, when I give out picks, especially early to the DubClub, as I always do, the lines move. And normally BetMGM is one of the slowest books at moving lines. So if you ever want to take advantage of it, definitely sign up using our link down below. Not only will you get the $158 in bonus bets, you probably get a lot of great odds there too. So like I said, sign up, top link in the description, bet $5 on anything. I know the graphic shows, the NFL, but it doesn't matter if it's the NBA either. You get $158 in bonus bets. Take advantage. Details down below. Let's dive into the picks though today. The first one is going to be the guy that I'm wearing his jersey. It is the man, the myth, the legend, Victor Wembanyama. I'm taking his over 24.5 points plus assists, minus 110 on BetMGM. If you recall on Saturday, took this identical prop for Victor, and he delivered. We're going to run it back here today because they did not move the line, and I'm willing to take a shot here. Now, I know there's going to be common questions down below. Hey, Austin, he's going to have to guard Joel Embiid. What if he gets into foul trouble? Yeah, that's a concern. Austin, they're 13-point underdogs on the road. What if it's a blowout? Yeah, that's a concern too. But Wembanyama has played a good amount of minutes in blowouts. And if you think about his normal rotations, it's not like we're relying on him. Like, let's talk about like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, for example. If his game's a blowout, it's going to be tough for him to get it done because he does not play the final 6 minutes of the fourth. However, Victor Wembanyama's rotations are a little bit different. He starts the fourth quarter, typically plays the first 5 or 6 minutes. So should get those minutes unless this is like a 50-point game, which at that reason will tip my cap to the Sixers and say whatever. But let's talk about Wembanyama. Sure, he's going to have to guard Joel Embiid, but I like him today. Now, over the last 7 games, Wembanyama's been a beast. He's averaged 24.3 points per game and 3.1 assists per game, good for 27.4 points plus assists. And he's over in 7 straight games with 28, 27, 26, blah, 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 blah. He's over in 7 straight. I'm going to continue to run it back. Now, Wembanyama is on a minutes restriction, and I don't think it's lifted today, but he has played 27 minutes in 3 straight. And I really think this is going to be a matchup he's not backing down from. Sure, Joel Embiid, one of the best scorers in the NBA, averaging the most points per game in the NBA. The number one center, him and Jokic right there. But Wembanyama has not backed down from a matchup before. We saw him already, score whatever 27 or 28 points on Giannis and the Bucks. And I don't think he's afraid of Embiid. He's not afraid of anyone. He's going to go out there and do his thing. And Embiid, what does he do? Plays a lot of drop coverage. So Wemby should have some open opportunities from the top of the arc. I did consider his over in threes, which is plus money. Don't hate that. But I just think Wembanyama will be able to do his thing. He also plays a lot of minutes, like I said, with the second unit. So B-ball, Paul Reed, the guy will probably be defending him. That's no match. That's a mismatch and a half. And so I really do think he'll be able to get it done. Sure, he could get into early foul trouble, but at the end of the day, Wembanyama's, this guy leading the league in blocks, despite limited minutes, he's been absolutely absurd, but he's also a guy that just doesn't tend to get into foul trouble a ton. And it's not like he's really reaching, trying to get an edge on the opponent. Wembanyama he's 7'4", 7'5", has crazy long wingspan. He doesn't really need to reach there. He can contest any shot. Even if he's late to the contest, he can still get up there, and obviously has great instincts too. So I'm not worried about foul trouble here. If he gets into foul trouble, whatever, but I really do like this over 24.5 points plus assists. Once again, for Victor, I would take it at 25.5. That's where the line moves up to. Now, my second pick is going to be an under. Oh, people hate the unders, but I really like this one today, and I think you'll understand why. I really like this one of my more confident unders. Still going to stick to 1 unit because I refuse to lose more than 1 unit on unders. Let's talk about Tim Hardaway Jr., who will be fading tonight. Under 17.5 points, minus 111 on FanDuel. The worst part about this Tim Hardaway Jr. bet is it's not available on a ton of different sports books as I type up this and as I read off, the script and as I make the video. I anticipate the line will be about 16.5 or 17.5 regardless, but definitely stay tuned. A lot of books have not posted a line for Tim Hardaway Jr., but I do like it down to 16.5. Now, the Mavericks, knock on wood, are mostly healthy tonight. Now, maybe Seth Curry doesn't play, but I'm not really concerned about that, and I don't think, Dante Exum plays, but I'm not too worried about that. What I mean by healthy is that Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving should be active tonight. At least they are at the moment as I type this. But Tim Hardaway Jr. is under this line in 22 of 33 games with Luka Doncic active. So a pretty good hit rate. He is under an 18 of 21 with Luka and Kyrie active. So a very good hit rate. Now, obviously, why? Well, because he doesn't get a ton of field goal attempts because Luka and Kyrie are going to do their thing and he becomes the third option. But also, we think about this match. So we already have that on our side. So he doesn't get a lot of field goal attempts. Now you look at this matchup against the Celtics. Obviously, the Celtics are on a back-to-back. I anticipate this being close. Any game that I take an under, very rarely is it a blowout. So if you want to load up some overs on the guys, they're going to play a lot of minutes because it's not going to be a blowout. The only one we've ever cashed with a blowout was that Donovan Mitchell under. But you think about the Celtics, what their defense is, it's even if some guys rest today, their defensive strategy and scheme is still going to be the same. They're going to let you go one-on-one on their guys. And I anticipate Drew Holiday's back. He rested yesterday, although he was out with an injury concern. I think he plays today. Derek White notoriously doesn't miss a lot of games. So they're going to let Kyrie and Luka go one-on-one. They're going to guard everyone else and say, hey, if you want to beat us one-on-one scoring, we will live with it. And that's kind of what's been the case of their defense this season. And just to look at the last 10 games, Celtics, fewest catch and shoot made, threes allowed, 6.9 per game, and those guys are shooting 28.1% on that, both number one in the NBA. They've allowed the 10th fewest catch and shoot three-point attempts as well. So not only are they allowing you to shoot a terrible percentage because they're contesting those shots pretty well, they're also, not giving up a ton of attempts as is. So it's not like teams are just getting a ton of attempts and bricking them. They're not getting a ton of attempts and they're not shooting well from them. We think about Tim Hardaway Jr., doesn't really have the ball a ton. I mean, like I already said, Tim Hardaway Jr. and Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic, where's the ball going? Not to him. And we think of Tim Hardaway Jr., sure, if you look at his averages, averaging 18.1 this season. 36% of his points come on catch and shoot attempts. It could be a three-pointer, mostly threes. Could be a mid-ranger, not really often. But we look at his under 3.5 threes. Like I said, only FanDuel has a line right now. It's about minus 160, and I imagine that gets a little bit more juiced as the day goes on. This season, Tim Hardaway Jr., when he makes less than 4 threes, he's under this line in 19 of 25 such games, 76% of the time. And 3 of the 6 games he went over, despite not making 4 threes, were with Kyrie Irving out. So, and that's when he had a lot more usage. So if he's not knocking down his threes, which the books don't think he makes 4 threes tonight, I'm going to be willing to take my chances. Now, if you look at Luka, Kyrie, and Tim Hardaway Jr. just played a game against the Lakers, he did have 17 shots. I think that was an anomaly. I don't think he's consistently getting 17 field goal attempts. I really don't. The Lakers are a team that do double guys when they get into this one-on-one coverage. So I think he got a lot of opportunities, bricked a lot of them. And we look at this matchup. Also, we look at the guys that they're probably going to play a lot of minutes. Grant Williams, obviously in a revenge game. Maybe he plays a few more minutes because Jason Kidd wants to. But also we think about how they're going to need other defenders out there because this is not a matchup. We think about Luka Doncic, what they like to do. They like to let him, lurk on defense and kind of try to hide him. As much as they can, they hide Luka. This is not really the matchup you can hide him a ton in. Maybe you could put him on Drew Holiday and hide him there, but they're going to need defenders out there like Derek Jones Jr. and Grant Williams out there as well. So if we think about Kyrie Irving, you're going to have Luka. You're probably going to have Derek Jones Jr. out there for defensive purposes, and Grant Williams too, plus Derek Lively. I just don't see a ton of minutes coming Tim Hardaway Jr.'s way. Obviously, he could play 40 minutes, and that would be whatever, but I don't love this matchup for him. Give me his under 17.5 points, minus 111 on FanDuel. Now, my third play is going to be a same-game parlay. Haven't had the best track record on this, but mostly this is just a straight bet plus a juice reducer. If the juice reducer loses, that is what pisses me off. But let's talk about this two-leg one, actually counting on 2 guys to get assists, which is normally a product of destruction. DeJounte Murray over 7.5 assists, and De'Aaron Fox 4+ assists. Now I say 7.5 over for DeJounte because that's his regular line. On the screen you see 8+ assists. His line is 7.5. Maybe by the time you're watching this, some books have moved up to 8.5. I don't hate that as a straight bet. If it is 8.5, that's probably what I would do instead. If you can't play this, 8 and 4 kind of thing for De'Aaron Fox and Murray. But I really do like both these 2 guys, and we're getting great value. Like I said, one of my best plays was on BetMGM. This is it, plus 100 on BetMGM. You look at other books. FanDuel has this at minus 143. I bet you it gets worse as the day goes on. You have DraftKings at minus 110, and Bet365 has this at plus 110, but they have De'Aaron Fox at 5 assists, which I don't hate. Now let's talk about why I like Murray, because he's probably the bigger ones here. We need Trae Young is out, and he should be out. He's in concussion protocol. Don't anticipate him playing. And we need DeJounte Murray to be assistant to his teammates. And we've seen in 3 games this season with Trae Young out, DeJounte, 11, 9, and 10 assists. He's done so on 20, 16, and 14 potential assists. The 14 came when I believe Trent Forrest was playing, and he's their backup point guard. He doesn't play. He now has 9 assists or more in 5 straight without Trae Young, dating back to last season. So DeJounte, we know, he's a very good ball handler. He's a guy that's going to have the ball in his hands. We think about the last time he was the number one guy on a team. Back to his days with the Spurs, he averaged 9.2 assists per game in that season. We know the Hawks, they're going to play really fast, and they're going to keep that ball in DeJounte Murray's hands. And we've seen, like I said, last game, DeJounte, 80 passes made, 20 potential assists. Tough matchup against the Heat to get assists. But we've seen over the last 15 games, the Kings have been a team that will give up assists. 12 players over the last 15 games have had 12 or more potential assists versus the Kings. Those guys ended with 4 and 5. I believe that was Banchero and Tyrese Maxey. Then the other guys all got above 8, 9, 10, and 11 assists. So guys that have a lot of assist chances against the Kings, going to get assists. That's just how it works. One of these 9 assist type games was actually Trae Young. He had 9 assists against the Kings, 24 potential assists. The potential assists were out of this world, just the guys weren't making shots. And that could happen today. They're on the road, the Hawks, sure. Maybe the guys don't make shots, but he's going to play a lot of minutes, control the ball a ton, and I really think that Murray's got a good chance of getting us 8 assists. If he doesn't, and the teammates don't make shots, whatever, but I know he's going to set up his teammates. I'm confident in that. Even if he scores 30-plus points, he's still going to be setting up his teammates to get some looks, and I'm not scared of Domantas Sabonis in the paint, so hopefully we get into the paint. He can dump it off to Clint Capella, Jalen Johnson, Onyeka Okongwu, and those guys can make some shots, or Bogey can make some threes. Either way, I really like DeJounte to get us the assists, and then the last leg would be De'Aaron Fox to get us 4 assists. I'm going to need that, Fox. I need 4 assists easily by halftime for you, but he's averaging 5.8 on the year, does have 4 assists in 30 of 35 games, and he has 4+ assists in 8 of his last 9 versus Atlanta, including 8 assists in their most recent game this season. The Hawks, as we've talked about before, love to trap the ball handler, the number one guy, and that will likely lead to De'Aaron Fox getting the ball out of his hands, pass it to someone else. Let's hope they're knocking down their shots there. So I really like the same game parlay. I know SGPs haven't had the best track record this year, but I really like this one at 8+ assists for Murray and 4+ assists for Fox. I know assists haven't been great for us, but I think the potentials will be there for both these two fellas. Let's hope their teammates knock down some shots. So that's my 3rd play of the day. And as always, the 4th play of the day will be day 3 of the ladder challenge. Day 3 has been a tough one. It's been our kryptonite for the past, whenever we've been running it, we struggled to get through day 3. If we get through day 3, we're going all the way to day 10. But like I said, this will be live later on today. Just a reminder, we play each of them for 1 unit, which is why it's my 4th play of the day, in addition to playing it for $40 now because we've rolled over 10 to 20 to 40. Now we got a little bit over 40. I think like $43 to play with. But as always, those are my 4 favorite picks of the day. No added plays today. Just going to stick to those 4. I did consider a hard lane for the people that are listening this late into the video. I appreciate you. LaMelo Ball over in points was one that I really did consider, and I imagine I get some comments about LaMelo. I don't hate it. The problem is his line is suspect. Obviously, they could get blown out by the Timberwolves, sure. But his line dropped from 21 and dropped to 21.5. I mean, I don't know. That's going to be a very popular play. It's something's weird about it. If you look at his track record, and if you want to, go to StatMuse and type in LaMelo Ball game log versus Rudy Gobert. 5 games, he's ended on 21 on the dot. 3 of those games. I don't know. Something's weird about that line. I'm just going to stay off of it, but obviously you can take it if you want to. My 4 favorite picks of the day. Wemby, we need you, man. We also need Tim Hardaway Jr. Go run some cardio. 3, DeJounte Murray and De'Aaron Fox assist your teammates. And day 3 of the ladder challenge will be live later on today with some of my other picks. You guys have a wonderful day. I will see you guys back again in the next one. It's Austin. I'm signing out. See you guys then. Peace.